It's natural to feel anxious and stressed sometimes, but these days, people have prolonged symptoms of stress like headaches, stomach issues, anxiety, and things that make you feel like you're not normal. But we are kind of doing this to ourselves, but hold on, let me back up for a second. The increase of social media and advancements in technological changes has never been so high in previous years. So we're kind of the first generation who has to go through these pressures that didn't actually exist back in the day. Yeah, I know we don't have to worry about getting eaten by a lion, but that doesn't mean that this comfort of life comes with no price. But we can't really do anything about external stuff. That's why we're not going to. We're gonna have to adjust our internal mindset. Number 1, slow down your mornings. You wake up, you're trying to optimize the sleep that you get. So you try to wake up and then you're like out the door really fast. Having a morning routine is so important. And just taking time in the morning to like stretch and not just like get up and out of the bed right away is something that helped me settle into my day because it serves like a grounding technique. Some of the things that I do in the morning, I sit up and then I just like stare outside, or I take a minute to reflect on like any dreams that I had. Then I'll always like stretch or do like a yoga sequence, and I meditate and I journal. It doesn't need to take 45 minutes. It could take like 15-20 minutes. The simple fact that you're slowing down your brain first thing in the morning and just being very easy on your body, easy on yourself, inviting the day, the energy that the day is gonna bring. This is gonna set up the energy that you actually have for the rest of the day, and you will thank yourself for it because later on you'll notice you're not as agitated at the tiniest things. Traffic won't bug you as much as it's going to if you skipped your morning meditation practice. Number 2, this one's not gonna be an easy one. Figuring out what triggers you in your current environment that's constantly giving you stress. Don't take this the wrong way. Don't think that I'm saying that any sort of stress in your life is bad. Stress is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it propels you to work towards your goals, but there are some stresses that actually pulling you down. And sometimes these stresses and these triggers are people. A lot of people haven't even started their healing journey. By healing journey, I basically just mean unraveling their own problems, being self-reflective, figuring out what their weak points are, being aware that they have weak points like every other human on this planet, becoming a better human every day. That's what I mean by healing journey. So a lot of people haven't done this, so therefore there's a lot of narcs running around the place. You might be living with one, or you might be associated with one, or once you bring awareness to this, you're able to cope with it better. We can't change our external environment, but we can change our mindsets. Next time you're in a situation where you are aware that this person or this thing or this situation is going to cause me anxiety, stress, just analyze it. Don't take anything personally. View yourself outside of that situation. It's not the end of the world. This may also lead people to think that this can cause dissociation. I'm not trying to go that way. I'm talking about an extra level of awareness. Simply being aware so that you don't fall victim of the emotions that you have. You can feel your feelings, of course, if you feel anxious if someone is saying something fucked up to you. But because we're talking about how we can get ourselves out of the situation and have less anxiety and less stress, have a very holistic understanding of what's going on, and this will actually help you. Number 4, stop weed and alcohol. I know what it feels like to be dependent on a certain substance. You just feel happy. It's honestly an escape. And I get it. We cannot keep escaping our core issues, which is also the core issue of why you're feeling anxious, why you have anxiety, and why you have stress. Try to cut down gradually and eventually stop alcohol and marijuana. We need to feel what it feels like to have happiness without external substance, because it's very important in our own ability to have a clear mind, a clear body, and therefore no one else can fuck with that. We live in a world where there are corporations, there are people, there's energy that feeds off of weak-minded individuals. This is why my entire channel is about the subconscious mind and how to make your brain stronger, because it's really important, and I actually do care because I am you. You need to be able to build that foundational awareness. Once you have leveled up in your spiritual game and in your personal life, then when you start taking substances on certain occasions, you are aware aware and you have that foundational understanding, and no one can fuck with that. Most times you might be shocked that you might not even need it anymore. This takes time. I've actually talked to a lot of people who've stopped marijuana and drinking, and they said it would take like a year of them still craving it, and then eventually they just stopped craving it because they had done enough internal work. The same way you feel on those substances, you can feel sober. It is possible. We are all strong enough to deal with life on its own. And honestly, the narrative I have in my head is that life is not something to deal with. Life is what it is. We are just visitors on this planet. We are literally just here to experience all the emotions, not just the good ones, also the bad ones, but we label it as a good and bad, but really they're just experiences that are meant to shape our souls and meant to teach us things. So again, I know I'm getting a little bit spiritual. I'm trying to hold myself back from getting that spiritual because a lot of people haven't done the work yet to get to that point, and all I'm trying to do is just eventually help you on your way regardless of where you are on your journeys. Try to stop marijuana and alcohol for a little bit. Number 5, negative self-talk. How many times have you been procrastinating or you haven't been able to get done something and you're mad at yourself and you talk shit about yourself and you're like, damn, I can't do anything, and you get upset? If I had 8 arms like an octopus, I would have them all up, because I've done the exact same thing, and let me tell you, that is so counterproductive. It doesn't work. You know it doesn't work. It makes you feel like shit. You end up scrolling on TikTok even longer. This is what you're going to do instead. Laugh. When you catch yourself scrolling on TikTok and you're procrastinating and you're like, oops, I was supposed to be doing something else, laugh to yourself and then just start doing the thing instead of getting mad at yourself and doing the thing, because this is what it's going to do. It's going to change your mind. You're going to be more at ease. Your body is going to physically be at peace, and you're going to be able to start the task much easier than if you had just gotten mad at yourself. It's very true that we are our biggest critic, and I think we're very hard on ourselves because people around us and our upbringing has taught us to just be hard on ourselves all the time. And although I don't disagree with that, I think there are certain times in life where you do need to be hard on yourself. For example, when you're really pushing your limits. But in most cases, it's actually too much. I noticed that when I started taking shit more lightly, to not be so hard on myself when I didn't get through all my things on the to-do list, that I was able to get more done simply because I was showing myself love. We only have ourselves. Literally, no one else on this planet has our brain with the combination of our body, with the combination of our soul. Nobody. We're different. I know we're all the same at the same time. We're from the same source, but like we're still different individuals enacting as a character in this play. Be kind to yourself. We're kind of alone for the most part. You'll get more done if you're actually kind to yourself. And lastly, number 5, nature. Nature has healing properties. The best way to learn is to go outside and experience it for yourself. When you sit near trees, when you sit near the ocean, when you go for walks, when you're in the sun, you feel better. I've actually started to go sit next to a tree and just hug a tree. I read this in one of the books that I'm reading. There's a certain science behind how hugging a tree actually transfers some amount of chemicals or takes out some amount of chemicals from your brain at that time, because you become in line with the vibration that the tree is giving. And for those of you that don't know, trees are consciousness, they're living, they're vibrating at a higher frequency, and that is my goal. I'm trying to live life like that. So when you hug a tree, shit gets better. Go hug a pet. A lot of pain in our life is actually caused up here. It's the way we react to it, which is why thoughts are such a huge thing that I talk about on this channel as well, and how thoughts create your reality. It's all very true. But we have to start mentally rewiring our brain to understand these facts, because it's quite hard. Anyways, I hope you guys implement these tips. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's continue learning more about our subconscious mind together. Much love to you all.